Here we go then, back at Prior's Flat. Benwell about to start the chase here, and it's Wussett batting first to Kant, and he noodles this one round the corner. It's picked up there, it's short fine leg, and there's a single to start the innings here. So 129 the target for Benwell Hill, and Kant is going to come round the wicket towards us here, and he's bowling to Heather this time, the left-hander. He's got quite a close infield with the usual 5 fielders outside the circle to start, and he loops one up and it's driven this time back up towards wide mid-off there, and that's Nathan Bailey who dives to his left at wide mid-off, and there's no run. So here's Kant again now to bowl, bowling to Heather. That's hit out to the leg side this time, and it's Mannion who fields there, a deep square leg, and throws in, and Heather gets herself 1 run. It's a loopy ball, that one, quite full on the leg stump, and it was turned away. So 2 for no wicket now, the score. So it's down to 127 already for Benwell Hill to win this match. And there's Kant again who bowls to Wussett, and he goes back and tries to cut that one away. And it's James Rainford behind the stumps tonight for Tynedale. Now here's Kant again, up he comes and bowls to Wussett, who hits this one up towards the scoreboard at the long on boundary. An excellent stop there from Bailey, who dives to his left after he sprinted round from in front of the practice nets across to our left here. So we're right behind third man broadcasting tonight up in the clubhouse here at Prior's Flat. It's Kant again. We're in the first over of the reply here. And a quicker one from Kant outside the off stump, but not wide enough to cut that time from Wussett, and that's the end of the first over. And Benwell Hill chasing 129 to win, 4 for no wicket at the moment, requiring another 125 from 19 overs. So now here's the Kant's opening partner here. It's going to be Maddie Scott, who's coming off a weekend of a fine effort over at Brighton in the league. But this is the quarter-final of the County Cup tonight here, this Wednesday night at Prior's Flat. And it's Maddie Scott, right arm, medium fast seam bowler. He'll be on from our end here, and he'll be bowling to Heather. And he's going to bowl to a third man, a fine leg, a backward point, a deep point, a deep cover, an extra cover, a mid-off, a mid-on, and a deep square leg. So here we go. Here's Scott again. He's going to go around the wicket. In he goes, bowling to Heather. And that one takes some bounce, and it's through to the keeper. There's a shot at the stumps from Rainford there, but a bye signalled by umpire Nitch at this end. There was a big swing from Heather, and it was angled into him, and it seemed to leave him there from Scott, and it was a big swing, but Rainford couldn't take it cleanly, so 1 conceded to the total there. So 124 now to win for Benwell Hill. Scott bowls down the leg side this time. A wide ball called there by umpire Nitch up to the scorers. There's good length, but just misdirected there from Scott, who just runs his hand to his hair there, just floating down in front of his eyes. And he gets the ball back off Bailey. Now he's about to move in again, away from us here, over the wicket this time, to Wussett, who hits this one hard and behind square, and it's Richard Bailey in pursuit up there towards the third man boundary. I think he's got hold of it. He has at the second attempt. He throws in now, and Wussett has got himself 2 runs there, wide and a little bit short there from Scott, and he managed to get the arms fully extended there, did Wussett. So 2 more to the total. It's 8 for no wicket. He's gone to 4, and now it's 121 to win as Wussett hits this next one up towards Bailey there at mid-off. It was a full pitcher this time, and Wussett drove it. So the score goes to 9, 120 now to win for Benwell Hill. We're only in the second over here, have a maximum of 20. Now here's Scott, moves in again round the wicket this time to the left-handed Heather. Plays swing and a miss outside the off stump that time, and that's about a line from Scott. Pitched on just outside off stump. Didn't get too far forward to it. Did Heather there, but he sets himself up again now. A nice compact left-handed stance as in goes Scott again and bowls. And this one's hit to the leg side, and there's just a single out to mid-on there. And if you heard a banging on the radio there, just the stand I've got the console on here decided to disappear. But we've got it back now. So here we go again. Here's Scott. Going in to bowl to Wussett this time. Big shot to the leg side this time, and he's going to get 4 over to mid-wicket across towards the Kingsgate Terrace side of the ground. And again, it was angling in towards that leg stump. I just passed it, and Wussett managed to get a full bat on it there. So 4 to the total at the end of the second over. It's 14 now for no wicket. So 115 to win now for the visitors here in this quarter-final of the County Cup tonight. And it's going for the third over. It's going to be Kant again. And here he comes now, bowling to Heather. It's a full toss and it's hit out towards mid-wicket again. But Sam Mannion will get down to this one, fields and throws in. And there's a run there to Heather, who runs up to the far end. So it's 15 for no wicket now. 114 to win for Benwell Hill. 5 out and 4 inside for Tynedale, the field that is. And again it's Wussett this time, tries to back off and cut a faster ball there from Kant, but he doesn't. It's not wide enough, and he plays and misses outside the off, and it goes through to Rainford. Now here's Kant again. Up he comes and bowls. It's driven high this time, but it's safe enough up there to long off, where it's Josh Renton who fields it off the ground, and there's a single there to Wussett that time. And now the score goes to 16 for no wicket. It's now 113 to win as Kant bowls again, and this one's driven out to Bailey there at extra cover, and there's no run. So the score remains the same here. Getting through the overs quickly here, Tynedale. Kant again to bowl to Heather of Benwell Hill. Down the leg side this time, and everybody's missed it. There was no shot played, and there was no wide called either. And there's 1 ball left in the over, so I that was way down the leg side. I don't quite wide as well, but umpire Haslop hasn't called it, so we'll just move on now. Still 16 for no wicket, full this time from Kant, and it's driven back, and Kant gets down to it quickly there, and that's the end of the third over. So Benwell Hill, 3 overs gone in their reply here, needing 129 to win. They're 16 for no wicket. Wussett is 10 and Heather is 3, and they require another 113 to win this match and go through to the semi-final. But it's going to be Maddie Scott, it is, who's going to take up the attack again for Tynedale. Now is Kant going to go out to on the edge of the circle there at mid-off for Wussett. Callan McCabe back playing again tonight down here at long on, right in front of the window. We've got 2 deep on the leg side to the right, and there's the next, and in it goes, and Wussett drives up there to Kant this time, and he gets a single. So the score goes to 17 for no wicket. Wussett goes to 11, and the gap now comes down to 112. Benwell Hill need. Now it's the left-handed Heather on strike. Kant's directing his field about here, watched on by his girlfriend Sarah and his little baby daughter Jessica Poppy up on the decking across to the right there. So we've got long off and long on inside the circle now, and here's Scott round the wicket, angles one in to Heather, who chops the bat down on it there, and it goes up to Bailey there at short third man, and he throws it in. So 1 more to the total. The batsmen change again. Wussett, the right-hander, back onto strike now. So that takes it to 118. So it's 111 now to win for Wussett. Scott bowls again. And it's gone past him to the wicketkeeper there. And there's a shot from Rainford there at the bowler's end stumps. And Scott fields it, backs up nicely. And there's another run to the total. And it's going to be Wussett again. And he just backs off. He must have had a midgie or two flying about his face there. He just backed off from the crease and Scott had to stop. But he's back at his mark now. In goes Scott again and bowls. And it's pushed up here to long on. And it's McCabe who fields. And there is one run that time. I beg your pardon. There was no run off the last ball. I thought I seen them run. It was a close shot from Rainford, but there was definitely one off that ball, what takes the score now to 19. And it's 110 now to win for Benwell Hill. Matty Scott, 3 wickets at the weekend, moves in towards, away from us here, to Heather, who drives hard, and it's going to go for 1 to George Cook, who's playing in, fielding inside the circle there at mid-on. And there's another 1 to the total, that takes it to 20 for no wicket. And now the moves down to 109, the gap. And we're in the 4th over here. Scott over the wicket now to Wussett. Wide of the stumps there. And Wussett attempts the cut shot, but he doesn't get anywhere. And that's the end of the over. And Benwell Hill, 20 for no wicket, in reply to Tynedale's 128 here tonight at Priors Flat. So they require another 109 to win, and they've got 16 overs to do it in. And it's going to be the captain, Tom Cant, to bowl from the top end. He's got 3 wickets in the cup this season so far, 2 against Shotley Bridge, 3 against Shotley Bridge over 2 matches. And here's Heather this time, driving up to Bailey there at the top of the picture as we look at it here, up at Long Off, in front of the bushes and hedgerows up there, and the protective fence protecting the Cherway estate. But here's Cant again now. Up he moves towards us and bowls to Wussett this time, who pushes it to mid-wicket for a single. Cant, the bowler's after it. He's run 30 yards so far. Are they coming back for 2? No, they're not. Cant gets there though, so that moves the score along. To 22 now it is. 22 for no wicket. So the difference now 107 for Benwell Hill to win. Cant moves up towards us again. Heather this time leans back on this one and plays back to Cuthbertson there at backward point, who fires the ball in hard to Cant, the bowler, at the top end, but the batsmen were through safely enough. That was Heather who got that run. He goes to 7, the score moves to 23, and the gap comes down to 106. Umpire Nitch just swaps sides because the right-handed Wussett is on now. That's on down the leg side that time. Wide signalled by umpire Heslop. And 1 more to the total. It's 24 now. 24 for no wicket, 105. For Benwell Hill to win here tonight. You're listening to live coverage here of this quarter-final on Spreaker Internet Radio, and this one's driven up to Renton there at Long Off this time, up at the top, and he twisted his ankle there as he fielded that ball. I saw he wobbled and he seemed to go over on his ankle. I hope he's alright. He looks as if he's down there rubbing his left ankle now, but there was 1 more to the total anyway, and it's 25 now, 104 the gap. Cant in to bowl to Heather again, and he's flicked this one up towards short fine leg, where George Cook, who wears his hat like another George that I've seen, or once seen, George Formby with or Norman Wisdom with the peak sticking high up in the air. But here's Cant again now, and it's driven this time from Wussett up towards the long off boundary, and it just passes about a foot wide on the offside of the non-striker stumps there. before the ball's fielded. So that's the end of the 5th over, and the score now is 27 for no wicket Benwell Hill. So 102 now they need to win this match. 102 required from 15 overs. And these two looking comfortable at the moment, Wussett and Heather. And it is it was rather like the two openers for Tynedale, Stevenson and Kant. They put on 90 for the first wicket. And Callan McCabe down at long on here, right in front of our little window. But it's Scott now bowling to Wussett, who's forward in his crease, and he hits it up towards McCabe. Are they coming back for two? No, they're not. It was a good length ball there, and it was just pushed, timed it quite nicely to get the single lead at Wussett. He moves to 16, and the score goes to 28, and the total comes down now to 101 to win for Benwell Hill. And it's Scott to Heather this time, and he just flicks that one across to mid-wicket, where it's Cook who fields and throws into the wicketkeeper Rainford. And there's a single, and the score goes to 29. 100 now, the difference. 100 to win for Benwell Hill, or 10 wickets to take for Tynedale. In goes Scott again, and that struck Wussett on the pad, and he started to run here. There's got to be a shot, and it's missed, and Rainford's missed it as well. And I think he may have just have been out there, Wussett, if that had taken a direct hit at the top end, at the striker's end. It was angled into him from Scott again over the wicket, and it struck his pad and went out there to Bailey, who fired again the ball extremely hard at the stumps, but with just one to aim at, he just couldn't hit them there. But Scott again now moves into Wussett, and he drives this one up past the stumps on the onside, and it's up here towards McCabe at long on. They've taken one, he throws in to the bowler's end, the near end here, and the score now goes to 30. So 99 now for Benwell Hill to win this quarter-final. 99, Scott it is, who moves in to the left-handed Heather now. Drives a full ball, but it only goes as far as Cook there on the edge of the circle at wide mid-on, across to our left. The field all changes for the right-handed Wussett. Long on, long off. A deep cover and a deep mid-wicket as Scott's in now. Slow ball this time, and it's quite full, and that's a dot ball there for Scott. He sort of ran his fingers over the top of it there, and it was full. And it had a bit of flight about it as well, even though it was of quite a pace. And Wussett could only drive it there to Cook at extra cover. And there's no run at the end of the over. So the end of the 6th over. There's 14 overs to go here. The score's 31 for no wicket Benwell Hill, and they need 98 now to win. 98 to win for Benwell Hill. It's going to be Heather on strike, and it's going to be Tom Canterbull from the top end with a long off, a long on, a deep mid-wicket, a deep square leg, and a deep cover. Bowls to Heather, who's forward and just turns this one to Cook. And that's a bit of a wayward throw there from the young fella up towards Canterbull, but he gets away with it, and there's one more to the total. Ben Cuthbertson and umpire Nitch change sides for the right-handed Wussett, who's come on to strike here. So the gap comes down to 97. Cant bowls to Wussett, and it's full, angled in and fired in towards middle and off there, but he manages to drive it up to Bailey there, Richard Bailey that is. Up at long on, and he fields, and there's one more to the total. It's gone to 33 now for North Benwell Hill. 96 to win now. Cant again to Heather. Full, and it's whipped away. A pull drive there, and that's a good bit of fielding from Mannion down on the deep square boundary. It was going hard, one bounce, and right in front of the boundary line he managed to take it on the bounce. And they just concede one there, Tynedale, so it's 34 now, and that takes it to 95 the gap, as Cant bowls again, and it's Wussett who hits this one up there towards Bailey at deep mid-wicket, across to the left, and he throws in. Another run conceded there by Tynedale. And the score goes to 35. Now it's 94. And there's Heather this time, who hits a shot out towards Mannion again there at the house end. And another run added to the total. One ball left in the over here. I've just seen umpire Haslop signal that one. So 36 now. It's come down to 93 for Benwell Hill to win. Back on his stumps this time, and how on earth he's managed to turn that one. Wussett up towards deep backward square, and it's Stevenson who fields, and Heather wanted the single there, but he doesn't get it. He's sent back, and that's the end of the over. One off the last ball there, and that is 37 now for no wicket Benwell Hill after 7 of 20, of a maximum of 20, and the gap now, they still need 92 runs to win off 13 overs here. And while we just wait for the next over to start, we listen for an ad from one of our sponsors here. It's the Royal Oak.
You are listening to live cricket here on Spreaker Internet Radio, kindly sponsored by the Royal Oak Hotel at Colnesay Colliery, County Durham.
And here's Maddie Scott to take up the attack again. Drive this time from Wussett, and that might reach the boundary for 4. No, it's Stevenson after it. It sort of got caught in the ground there. Nice sliding stop. He throws into the bowler's end now, and that wasn't very far away from the stumps. So just a couple there conceded. And the score goes to 39, and the gap comes down now to 90 to win for Benwell Hill here at Priors Flat this evening in the quarter-final, one of the quarter-finals of the County Cup, the Northumberland County Cup. As in goes Scott again in bowls, and this time Wussett just guides it up to Bailey there at backward point, but there's no run. Fielded on the second bounce there from Bailey. So it remains 39 for naught. Benwell Hill. Wussett has 22 and Heather has 13. And Tynedale with Maddie Scott again, and he goes to bowl to Wussett, who drives again up here towards the long off boundary, and it's the captain Tom Cant who fields across to our left and throws into the near end here to the bowler Maddie Scott, and there's one more to the total. That takes it to 40 now, and it's 89. 89 needed now for Benwell Hill. The left-handed Heather on strike. In goes Scott again, bowling to Heather. Swings hard this time, but he doesn't time it. It only goes out there to Cook it wide mid-wicket, and he fields it, and Heather gets through for a single though. They come through. So 41 now the score, 41 for no wicket, and the margin comes down to 88. Now the field drops out for Wussett. In goes Scott, and he's played a missed, and he came forward there, tried to anticipate the shot, and it wasn't that very far away from the edge through to Rainford, the wicketkeeper. So both Fletcher and Crichton out for Tynedale tonight, not here, as Rainford takes over the gloves. The Scott's in again now, and it's Wussett who cross-bats this one up towards us, but it's intercepted by McCabe running in from the long on boundary, and he picks it up, and that's the end of the 8th over. 42 now for no wicket Benwell Hill. Wussett 24 and Heather 14, and needing 129 to win. They still require another 7. And Wussett there just moved to 14. I saw the scoreboard just update as the lights come on here in the clubhouse. We've got our usual little corner. We've been outside the last couple of weekends because it's been so nice weather. It's been warm today. We had a bit of sun as well up here in Hexham. Slight breeze down on the coast earlier in the day, but we're going to have a change of bowling here, and it's going to be Josh Renton, the right arm medium fast seam bowler, who will come in from the top end towards us, and he'll bowl to Wussett. Wussett goes forward and just pushes it out to the leg side this time, and Renton picks it up. That was another ball. The the faster bowlers here looking to angle it in on the stumps here. But it was Wussett who saw that one in plenty time. Now the change in the field here, Bailey and Cant have swapped sides at long off and long on at the top end there. Now, will that be the combat Wussett who seems to hit it up to that leg side, but this one has stopped him in his tracks. Another one quite full there from Renton, directed at middle and leg, and it seemed to take the bat and the pad and just rolled back towards the bowler there, so there's no run. It's still 42 for no wicket, 87 still the gap here, or the margin to victory for the visitors tonight. Now here's Renton again, bowling to Wussett. Drives high this time, and there may be a catch for Bailey at deep mid-wicket, and he's taken it, a lovely catch, falling, tumbling to his right-hand side there, over at the tennis courts, and that's the first wicket down for Benwell Hill, and it's Josh Renton who's got it in his first over, and it was the highest scorer between the pair here, Wussett who's gone, and he comes off towards us here in the clubhouse, up to the dressing rooms, just to our left. Can't actually see round under the balcony here. So Benwell Hill, a lovely catch there from Nathan Bailey down on the deep end bucket boundary at the tennis courts. 42 for 1 now, and Wussett made 24.
Who's going in now?
And here's here's the new batsman in for Benwell Hill, and it's 42 for 1 now, so they require 87. And it's Heather on strike, facing Renton. He moves in and bowls, and that's cut him in half. He didn't move his feet much there, and it moved away that one and kept quite low, and Heather was brought his bat across it and not through the line there, and he played a mist, and it went through to Rainford, the wicket keeper. So no run there, it's still 87. And here's Renton again, who's coming in to bowl to Heather again. Here he comes. Heather's down the pitch. Oh my word, it's taken an inside edge and bounced clean over the top of the stumps that time and down towards us behind the fine leg boundary here. And it's Cuckoo comes round the field, and that was extremely lucky, that one, for Heather. He got away with it. He went. It was again angled across him, and he went looking to cut it through, just slightly leaning back the offside to our left here, and it took the bottom edge, or the inside edge as well, and bounced clean over the top of the stumps, because we're almost directly behind him here, and he gets a single. So 43 now the score, 43 for 1, 86 now the margin of victory, and that's hit to the leg side this time, but not very hard. And it's Scott who comes in to pick that one up. In fact, it was a leg bye just called there to from Eddie Heslop, the umpire, and that's the end of the over. 1 under the score at the end of the over there. It's now Benwell Hill 44 for 1, which, needing 129 to win, leaves them with 85 still to get, and we've got 12 overs remaining here this evening at Prior's Flat. 12, no we haven't, we've got 11 overs, because this is the 10th one coming up. The scoreboard's just clicked over, and we're going to have another change of bowling here. It's going to be Callan McCabe who's coming on to bowl from this end, and Tom Cant's just with him now having a little chat. 44 for 1. Heather, the opener, still there on 15. And we've got another right-hander in for the Hill. He's up at the top end about to face this one. Tom Cant's coming down here too, long on. McCabe's in the bowl. short, and it's on just outside off stump and up on his toes that time, and drives it on the up out to Cook there with extra cover, and another one is added to the total, so that takes the score to 45 now. So it's 84 to win now for Benwell Hill, and we're nearly halfway through the innings here. So it's Heather on to strike at that top end. Quite a closed in offside field here. We've got a backward point, we've got a short extra cover and a mid off for Heather the left-hander. Canned in there at mid off. Moves through, and that's pulled, and that might be 4. It's running up towards the tennis courts, but it's not going to get there. Again, it sticks in the turf over there to the left, and it's Stevenson who fields and throws in to the wicketkeeper Rainford, and Heather has gone through for 2 runs. And that takes the score now to 47. And that brings the total needed now for Benwell Hill down to 82. In goes McCabe again, short outside the off stump, and he's pulled it again, but straight up again towards Stevenson, a deep backward square there, deep square, I beg your pardon, and he fields and throws in again, so 1 more to the total and 1 more to Heather there. He's gone to 18, the score goes to 48, and now the gap comes down to 81. So Maddie Scott here just moves back towards the long on position. We've got a deep mid wicket in place and a deep cover as well, and a third man and a long off, and that one's just pushed onto the leg side this time, and it's in the middle of 3 fielders there in the extra cover in the covers, and 1 more taken, and that's onto the total it goes. So 49 now, and the gap comes down to 80. 49 for 1. Heather on strike, 18 not out. McCabe it is bowling now, on the way again. And he tries to pull another one, and he's played and missed this one. It was a swing, played across the line there, and it kept a little lower, that one, a bit fuller pitched there from McCabe, and it goes through to the wicketkeeper Rainford, and there's no run. So a little breather here for Tynedale. Still plenty of spectators out on the decking and on the bank side as McCabe moves forward again to bowl. Swing, it's gone high, and he may be out, and Biley's going to get another catch here. Is he at backward point? He is, and it's Heather who's gone. And he stepped back, it was another shorter ball, back of a length, and it got up, and he went to cut it away, but it took rather a top edge, and it went up not very far, and it was Biley there at backward point who caught it. So McCabe has a wicket, the second to fall for Benwell Hill at 49. So 49 for 2 in the 10th of a maximum of 20, and the gap still is 80 here for Benwell Hill to win, and these 2 wickets might just have changed the momentum here just a little bit. That's what they need at Tynedale. Ben Cuthbertson there, he's fielded the ball just a couple of times so far, but and he's thigh tight trousers, so he hasn't changed his style yet, but he reckons they're in fashion, but well, I'll not argue with him on that point because I haven't a clue myself, but here we go. It's Josh Renton who's going to bowl the 11th over here. It's 49 for 2 Benwell Hill. We've got a deep cover, we've got a deep square leg, we've got a long off and a long on. So we've got Renton coming into bowl, and that's pushed to leg this time, and that's the captain Tom Cant who's fielding in at close mid wicket across to the left there. And we're broadcasting just down behind third man again in the clubhouse, our little corner of the clubhouse here. And Renton moves back up towards the end of his run. Here we go, Renton in again. And a play and a miss outside the off stump this time, and there's no run. It remains 49 for 2. A few of the Benwell Hill supporters down in front of the clubhouse on the benches here. Renton just pulls his sleeve up a little bit, gives the ball a bit of a polish up there at the top end. He's about to bowl again. Here he comes. 49 for 2 Benwell Hill. Pushed this time for 1. Kant's going to get it. He's just stopped up with his left hand there, running to his left from close mid-wicket. And they get a single. So that's the 50 up for Benwell Hill. It's 50 for 2. And the gap for victory now has come down to 79. And we're over the halfway mark now. Less than 10 overs to go here. Here's Renton again. Moves in towards us and bowls. Driven this time, and that's a good stop there for Mannion. Diving to his left, a deep cover. And he throws it in. And it was flying off that. It skidded off the turf there. It bounced just about on the 30-yard circle. And it was going at some speed when Mannion stopped that one. But they get a single. Another single added to the total here. 51 for Benwell Hill. 78 now it's come down to. They need to win. Renton in again. Full outside the off stump, and drive attempted there, but he played a missed, swing and a miss there from the batsman, and it goes through to Rainford and the wicketkeeper who's behind the stumps tonight, and there's no run. It's still 51 for 2, and it's 78 needed here by Benwell Hill. Another wicket would positively send this match Tynedale's way. Renton it is to bowl. Short again outside the off stump. Shorter than the last one anyway, and another play and a miss, and it's through to Rainford, the wicketkeeper, and there's no run, and that's the end of the 11th over. So 9 to go here. 51 for 2 Benwell Hill, and they require 78, needing 129 to win, and it's going to be Callum McCabe here to bowl. And he'll come in from our end, the clubhouse. He'll go in from our end here, the clubhouse end. And he's got a long off and a long on, a deep cover, a deep mid-wicket and a fine leg. Third man, I beg your pardon. That's full on the stumps, and it's played off the back foot up towards. They're coming back for 2. There's got to be a shot, and it's Scott there who fired wide of the stumps at the bowler's end. And from running in from the long on boundary. So 2 runs to the total now. That takes it to 53, and the gap now comes down to 76 needed by Benwell Hill, and it seems to have lightened up a bit out there, but it's McCabe again to bowl. That's hit to the leg side this time, and it's Mannion who skips in from the mid-wicket boundary and picks up inside the circle and keeps that one to 1. So 54 now. 54 it is for Benwell Hill. The gap comes down to 75. 75 needed here. So changing the field here for McCabe. He's brung his mid on up inside, long on up inside the circle, and he's pushed fine leg back. McCabe bowls, pulled away. It's nicely stopped there by Renton. A nice sliding stop at backwards square leg just inside this 30-yard circle. And again he keeps it to 1. That takes the score to 55. It's now down to 74. 74 runs needed by Benwell Hill here. Live on Cricket West Tyne on Spreaker Internet Radio from Priors Flat. Matthew Erskine talking to you here. As in goes McCabe again, and this one's driven up too long off for a single. It's Kant who runs in from the long off boundary to our left and keeps that one down to 1. So 56 now for 2, and the gap comes down to 73 needed by Benwell Hill. Tynedale desperate for another wicket here. The light just a bit better. The scoreboard shining out across there in the top left hand corner as we look at the play here. And the next one on its way, a play and a miss outside the off stump that time, and it goes through to Rainford, the wicketkeeper. And McCabe, he's 9 wickets so far in cup competitions. 2 for 19 in the last match versus Crook, which Tynedale lost. And here he is again, and that's hit him on the pad this time, but it goes up towards third man, and there's a shout for LBW, but just a half a one, and umpire Nitch it is this time who signals a leg by, which takes the score to 57, and it brings the gap down now at the end of McCabe's over to 72 needed. 72 needed now with 8 overs left. 72 of 48. 72 needed of 48 balls here for Benwell Hill. It's going to be we've got another change of ball at the top end. Renton has been taken off by Captain Cant up there, and it's Nathan Bailey, another right arm seam bowler, who's going to bowl in towards us here with a long off, a long on, a deep cover, a deep mid wicket, and a third man. Driven this time up towards long on it is, but Cant just runs in and gets it, and the batsmen just take a single, and the score goes to 58 for 2 here. Benwell Hill, which takes the gap down to 71 of 47 balls now. 71 of 47. Bailey again. Drive this time up towards Richard, his dad up there. Richard Bailey at long off, and he throws it in. Good fielding. He's kept it to 1. So the score moves to 59 for 2, and now the gap comes down to 70 of 46 balls. 70 of 46 balls here for Benwell Hill. Cook has just dropped out to third man, and a swing and a miss this time. So Bailey, a faster ball wide, but not too wide outside the off stump, a slightly fuller length as well. So now it's 70 of 45 balls for Benwell Hill. Bailey again moves in towards us here over the wicket, past Heslop the umpire, and that's very wide this time, is it? And Rainford hasn't taken it cleanly, so there'll be a bye signal this time from umpire Heslop. 1 bye there, and there was a big swing at it as well. It was again about the same length, slightly full, but wide of the off stump, so that brings it down to 69 needed of 44. 69 of 44. High this time, and it's pulled away, and that was pulled away up towards mid-wicket at the tennis courts there, but it doesn't beat Stevenson, who fields it across to the left, so up goes the score by 1 to 61 for 2 now, and that brings it down to 68 from 43. 68 from 43. Bailey again now, moves in and bowls. A big swing and a miss going forward, and he's out. He's hit it. I thought it was a miss there. There wasn't very much appeal from the Tynedale fielders, but they've got the third wicket, and that was just what they needed. And it's Bailey who's got it, so Nathan Bailey takes the third wicket here tonight for Tynedale. It's 61 for 3 with 42 balls remaining here in this innings. And Benwell Hill still requiring 68 here with 7 wickets remaining. We'll be back in just a moment after we hear from one of the club sponsors here at Tynedale. It's MKM.
Tynedale Cricket Club is sponsored in 2018 by MKM Building Supplies and Cars Billington, agricultural merchants, both local companies in Hexham.
Here we go now. We've got, that was the end of the over, was it? Yep, that was the end of the over as well. So we're down to 42 balls left here, and we're 61 for 3, and it's McCabe about to bowl. So it's 68 needed off 42 for Benwell Hill, and here's McCabe goes in now to bowl. Drives this time, and it's out towards the wide long off boundary. Cant skips around there, picks it up. There's a shot in, and there's a bails are off, and at the bowler's end, but Nitch it is the umpire who says no that time. A good throw there from Cant, and there's 2 runs to the total there, so that takes it down to 66 from 41 now. 66 from 41 for Benwell Hill. In goes McCabe. It's driven again up towards Cant again. It's wide long off there. He's in quickly. Keeps it to 1 this time. And he picks it up now and underarm throws it back to McCabe. So it's 65 now from 40. 65 runs needed from 40 balls for Benwell Hill. The score goes to 64 for 3 to Tynedale's 128 in the first innings here tonight. Now we're just doing the batsman there is having a bit of a readjustment. And here's McCabe moves in again to bowl. And that's just back of a length, and it skips up at the batsman there, and he just nudges it down to Bailey there at backward point for a single. That takes it to 65 for 3. It brings it down to 64 needed from 39 balls. 64 runs for Benwell Hill from 39 balls. McCabe it is. Tosses the ball from hand to hand here. Now he's sets off away from us here in the clubhouse. Bowls again, and that's driven on the up, and it'll beat Cook at extra cover there, and Candace quickly across to his left away from us towards the tennis courts to pick that one up. And there's 2 runs added to the total as the ball goes in to McCabe the bowler there. So that takes it down to 62 needed off 38 balls now for Benwell Hill. 62 off 38. The score's at 67 for 3. Cuthbertson's come out of that mid-wicket area. He's going to reinforce the covers. He's the second from the right of 2 extra covers now. Across to the left, here's McCabe. Driven again, and he's played that one nicely. Placed it up to Kant again. Wide of inside of Cuthbertson there at extra cover. And 1 more to the total. Cuthbertson now is on the run again. He's making his way back up to short fine leg. So 1 more to the total there. So it's down to 61 now from 37. 61 from 37 balls. Next one's on the way from McCabe. He's hit this high, and it's going. 3rd catch for Bailey, and he's taken it safely. So 3 catches for Bailey there. He was at backward point this time. Again, it was a little bit, it was a good length, but it got up, and the attempted, well, the slug hit, the slug pull shot or hook shot away, just went straight up, skewed off the bat, and Bailey takes his 3rd catch of the evening. So, Benwell Hill now 68 for 4, still requiring 61, and that was the end of the over, I think. There it was indeed, and we're going to have a wicket there for McCabe, his 2nd of the night. So 4 wickets. Josh Renton's got 1, McCabe's got 2, and Nathan Bailey's got 1, who's about to bowl again. So 68 for 4, 61 still needed for Benwell Hill here of 36 balls. So it's under 2 runs a ball here. And Bailey it is to bowl from the top end. He's about to come in here. And we've got still the deep field in place, the long off, long on. Deep cover, 3rd man and deep square leg. Driven high this time, but it's safe enough up towards Bailey there at long off, who throws in. So 1 to the total. And that takes it to 69 now for 4, and the winning margin comes down to 60 from 35 balls for Benwell Hill. 60 from 35 needed. Bailey in again to bowl. Big shot this time, drive, and another fabulous piece of fielding down there from Mannion. He doesn't get it cleanly at the first attempt, but they're running through, and there's a bails are off, are they? No. By Bailey up at the top end there. And the batsmen get through, so 2 more to the total there. And that takes it to 71 for 4 now, Benwell Hill, while we've got one of the batsmen there just tying his laces. So it's now 58 from 34. And that's a few times now Mannion has saved certain 4s with excellent handwork and groundwork down on that boundary across to the Kingsgate terrace side of the ground, and he's been in that deep mid-wicket, deep point area all evening, but he's done superbly well in that position. Bailey in again now in bowls, and that's pushed back to him, and he takes it on the second bounce there, and there's no run. So still 71 for 4, 15th over, and there's 33 balls left. 33 balls now, and 58 needed. Now Bailey again moves in. Driven this time, and there's a half a stop is there. It was high, and I think it may have been, he might have got fingertips. It might have been a catch there from Cuthbertson, a backward point, but it was going far too fast for him, and it goes for 4 across to the extra cover boundary just this side of the house end, and runs away onto the bank side there. So 4 to the total that time, and it's 75 for 4 now, which brings it down to 54 from 32. Bailey bowls full on the off stump, and it's driven again, and McCabe takes that one on the chest as it bounces up off the ground and just keeps that shot to 1. And there's 1 ball left in this over here, so 31 left now. 53 to win for Benwell Hill. 53 to win. Bailey again to bowl. Driven again this time, and it goes to McCabe in the covers, and he picks it up cleanly this time, and that's the end of the over. There was no run off the last ball there. It's 76 for 4, and Benwell Hill needing 129 to win, or 76 for 4, still requiring 53 from 30 balls now. 53 from 30 balls. And we've got a new set of gloves being taken out there for the batsman, as Matty Scott just has a look round. He's bowled tonight. He hasn't got a wicket though, but he's got a short of hair sticking out from the side of his cap right down in front of us. He looks like he's just had a good short back and sides haircut. He gives some encouragement to his teammates out there. But the start of the new over, it's going to be Callan McCabe bowling. And we've got the long off, long on, 2 extra covers, a deep cover, a deep mid wicket, and a third man. Drive, and it's come off the edge, and it's running up to Bailey there at third man at the top end, and he throws in now, and that's kept it to 1. So 52 now needed as the score moves to 77 for 4. Benwell Hill off 29 balls now, 52 off 29. McCabe now, back to the end of his mark. On the way again. Drive again, and that's split the covers that time, but Stevenson will gather it down there at the tennis courts and throws in now. And there's 1 more to the total. Or was there 2 there? I'll just keep an eye on that score. I didn't quite notice the batsman if they went through for 2. Yes, they did. So 2 more to the total. That takes it down to 50 now, the gap of 28. 50 off 28. The score's moved to 79 for 4 here for Benwell Hill. McCabe on the way. Driven again. It's beat McCabe down to his left-hand side. Kant sprints in from the long off boundary to our left and in front of us there, and throws it in. So 1 more to the total, which takes the gap now to 49 off 27. 49 off 27. Cuthbertson again's out of that short fine leg into the second extra cover. In goes McCabe, and it's chipped in the air. Oh, it's just missed him, and I think that may go for 4, will it? No, an excellent sliding stop here for Kant down at the straight boundary, just slightly to our left here, behind long on, and he throws in. So another couple of runs under the total there. 1 run there under the total. It goes to 81, the score, and that brings it down to 48 now off 26. 48 off 26. Smacked away this time up towards the tennis court side, where Stevenson fields a deep cover point there it was, to our left, and throws in. So another single to the total. That takes it to 82. So 47 now to win from 25. 47 from 25. And it's looking Tynedale's way at the moment, unless these two can get some sort of pile on here for the visitors. It's pushed again and through between the bowler and that quite straight extra cover there, and it's Cantu Fields, and they keep it to 1, and that's the end of the over. So 24 balls left here and 46 needed by Benwell Hill, as needing 129 to win. After 15 overs, they're 83 for 4, and the wickets have gone to Josh Renton, who has 1, Callum McCabe 2, and Nathan Bailey, who has the other 1. So he's about to bowl next, Nathan Bailey, but we'll be back in just a tick after another word from one of our sponsors.
Hello and welcome to the Cricket West Time programme on Spreaker Online Radio, brought to you by Experts in Business, on number 1 in business consultancy. For all your business needs, visit www.expertsinbusiness.co.uk or find them on social media.
Bailey it is to bowl to take up the attack here, and that's turned round the corner up towards Scott there, who's at a short fine leggish position inside the circle. So Bailey, 1 more to the total there, so that takes it to 45 now of 23 for Benwell Hill. 45 of 23. Now here comes Bailey again. He's just about to start his run in towards us, passed on by Haslop. Hit on the full this time up towards Bailey there. Richard Bailey, it's long off. He picks up now, so another 1 to the total. It's 44 now needed off 22. 44 off 22. It's 85 for 4 in the 17th here. 44 of 22 balls for Benwell Hill. Bailey moves in. Driven high over the head of Cuthbertson there at backward point, and there's a boundary down towards the picnic tables to the right hand side there. So 4 more to the total. That takes the gap now down to 40, and there's 21 balls left here. 21 left to bowl here at Priors Flat tonight. The score's moved up to 89 for 4. So 40 here needed by the visitors. Stevenson in off the boundary there at deep square. He's up to square leg. We've got a deep mid wicket, a long off, a long on, 2 deep extra covers as well. Third man fine leg up. Bailey's in and bowls full outside the off stump. It's chopped into the ground, and the sprint through there. Good running from the Benwell Hill pair there as they get another 1. And Bailey runs forward to collect that 1. So now it's 39 off 20 balls. 39 off 20 here for Benwell Hill. Tynedale, it's 90 for 4. Bailey in, down the pitch he goes, and it's hit away at the leg, but I think that came off the inside edge onto the pad. And there's 1 ball left in the over here. There was another single to the total there, so 19 balls left and 38 needed. 19 balls left, 38 needed. 91 for 4. Benwell Hill chasing 129. Quarter final of the Northumberland County Cup here. Bailey bowls, it's full, it's driven out to McCabe, and Kant's got that side of the field over by the house end well covered. McCabe fields and throws in from deep extra there, and it's into the wicketkeeper's end, and there's 1 at the end of the over. The last ball of the over, 1 off it there, so 18 balls now and 37 needed from 18. And it's going to be Josh Renton to bowl the next over. And while we're waiting on that, we've got our broadcast commentary this weekend on Saturday. We'll come again for here from Priors Flat as 2nd Swalwell plays 4th Tynedale in Division 1 of the Northumberland and Tyneside Cricket League. Swalwell beat Shotley Bridge last week, so it's Ashington and Tynedale quite close on points in 3rd and 4th, and Shotley and Swalwell. Shotley at the top, quite close on points after that crunch match last week in 1st and 2nd. But that's for the weekend. 2:31 from Saturday afternoon as Renton it is to bowl now with a spread field here. Full, and it's driven out to long off where Kant picks it up now, slips a little and throws it in. So there's 1 32 the total there. And it goes to 36 needed now as the score moves to 93. And there's 17 balls left. 36 from 17. As in moves Renton again now. There he goes. Bowling towards the Tiger Factory. It's hit high. Over long on, is it? Yes. 4-6 right down here in front of us in the clubhouse here. So a nice shot there. An excellent shot in fact. Slightly over pitched. It was in the slot there and he did the business. So 6 to the total. That takes it to 99. So it's 30 to win now. 30 to win for Benwell Hill of 16 deliveries. 30 to win. Here's Renton now. Where will he bowl this one? It's hit high again and there's another 6 over mid-wicket. And it's beat the chap who tried to catch it there on the bank side and I think it's gone straight out the main gate. So another 6 and Renton's been piled for a couple here. Can he regain his composure as the score moves to 24 needed now for Benwell Hill. 24 needed. It's 105 for 4 and there's 15 balls left and it's at the start of this over Tynedale may not have thought it was going to get this tight, but they've got that 9 ball advantage at the minute, so slightly to Tynedale. It's the wicket they need and they're looking for a new ball. There's a couple of people who's just gone out there to look for it. Sam Mannion's been out there. Has he got it back? Yes, it must have gone off a little way down Kingsgate Terrace out there as well, unless it struck a car. But 105 for 4 now, Benwell Hill. 24 needed from 15 balls. 24 from 15. Renton about to bowl again. In he goes. Wide of the off stump this time and he's been punished for it by umpire Nitch. And 1 more to the total there. It goes to 106. And now it's 23 needed off 15 still. 23 off 15. Renton a little wearily makes his way back towards his mark so he can bowl over the wicket here. Can't put any more outside and he can't get the ones who are outside any further back. As in goes Renton now and it's driven this time but it's straight to McCabe there in that extra cover and they get a dot ball this time. So there we go. It's 14 balls left now and 23 needed. 14 to go. And 23 needed. Renton, another one's away, wide of the off stump this time, and he's been punished again. Bowling the negative tactic here, but umpire Nitch isn't falling for it. Still 14 to go and 22 needed. And Renton makes his way back towards his mark now. Just has a look at the ground. As he does so, now he turns, in he goes now, bowling. 107 for 4. Big swing and a miss outside the off stump, so a dot ball there for Benwell Hill, and an even better outcome for Tynedale there, as he tries to save some here. So 13 left now, and it's still 22 needed. Here he goes again now. Bowls hit high and that may be caught by McCabe in extra cover, is it? He's running backwards, he's taking it. And there we go. That's the next one to go there for Benwell Hill, a wicket. It's 107 for 5 now. And I think that was the end of the over as well. So 12 balls now and 22 needed. 12 balls and 22 needed for Benwell Hill. Just take a sip of water there. Now here's the new batsman in. Can they do it now? 107 for 4. 22 needed. 12 balls to go. And wherever Kant decides to put his field there, here, we're going to see what happens. So it's the new batsman in who will take the strike. So we've still got some deep fielders in place, long off, long on. A deep mid wicket. We've got is it Renton there at backward square. We've got two deep covers, a deep extra and an orthodox deep cover over by the house end to the right. Bailey straining at the bit there to run in towards us, and he comes short and it's bounced and it's pushed for one into the offside. So Bailey goes round to field that one. The score goes to 108, and now the gap comes down to 21 from 11. 21 from 11 here, and a few spectators standing down in front of us here, in front of the clubhouse, and up on the decking as well. But here's Bailey again now, 108 for 5. 21 needed by Benwell Hill from 11 balls. Bowles strikes it hard, and it's going to beat Bailey up there at long off. And yes, umpire Haslop signals a 4. And that was a good shot. Was over pitched and just not too wide, and he got to it, got that left shoulder round and drove it, timed it brilliantly up to the boundary there, past the left hand of long off. So it's 17 now needed from 10 balls. 17 from 10, 112 for 5. Hit high, and can't see it. He doesn't know where it's gone. There's 4 runs. It's up there to the left of him. Aye, it was straight down the pitch, and Kant was unsighted up at long. On there, and 4 more to the total, so that's 13 needed now. 13 off 9 balls now, 13 from 9, and it seems to be swinging one way then the other at the minute as Bailey's in and bowls short, and it's driven again. It's gone straight to Mannion, who cleans up nicely as he has done all this innings down on the deep cover boundary. So 1 more to the total. It's now down to 12 from 8. 12 from 8 here for Benwell Hill to win, or 5 wickets for Tynedale to take, or if they can just hold them, stop the runs here. Wide of the off stump, it's bowled and it's driven. Mannion round again, and again he slides down and gets it for the half a dozenth time this innings. And 1 more to the total it was there, and 1 ball left in the over. 11 needed from 7 now. 11 needed from 7. Bailey to bowl in towards us. Here at Prior's Flat, he's in and bowls full this time, and it's driven past him. He just a flying dive there, can't stop it for 1, up to straight long on at the end of the over. So 6 balls to go and 10 needed here. 6 balls to go and 10 needed by Benwell Hill. And who's going to bowl the last one here tonight? So we've got a close quarter final. So where are we? Who's going? Is it going to be McCabe to bowl? It's going to be Renton to bowl. Has he only bowled 3? Has he? Getting some stick. Well, he's taken quite a while. It's going to be Renton to bowl, man. I thought I was right. Renton's standing down at this far end here. So there we go, 119 for 5. 10 to win from the last 6 here. 10 to win for Benwell Hill. And here's Renton, in he goes and bowls, and it's hit back past him up towards McCabe here, who runs in from long on. Will Kant or him get there first? They're going for 2, they're running back, they're going to get it. So 2 under the total there, so that takes it now to 8 from 5. 8 from 5 for Benwell Hill to win. 8 from 5, yeah. And Renton it is who goes into bowl again. High, and it's 6 under the clubhouse roof. 6 runs there for Benwell Hill, so they're definitely the favourites now. It's down to 2 from 4 now. 2 from 4, and they've come back in this innings. They were behind for quite a while, and this last couple of overs, or 3, they've come back into it, and you can't deny that they've played well for it as well. 1 or 2 bits of unluckiness for Tynedale, but here's Renton. Where will he bowl now? Full outside the off stump, perhaps, to save this one, and he's hit it for 4. And Benwell Hill have won this match by 5 wickets. They go through to the semi-final as they finish with 131 for 5 in the second innings here. Benwell Hill win by 5 wickets, and they left it late, but they did it. Tynedale 128 in their innings, and Benwell Hill have come back and they've scored 131 for 5 with an excellent last over there. Big 6 to put it away there, and that brought it down to 2 from the last 4 balls, and they did it. So congratulations to Benwell Hill as they go through to the semi-final of the County Cup. And that's it for the cup competitions for Tynedale this season, sadly, for the team. They got to the final of this competition last year, and 2 years ago they got to the final, and they got to the final of the plate last year. But there'll be no repeats this year or 4 of the last 2 years. So there we go. The cup competition's over for Tynedale. It's Benwell Hill who win by 5 wickets here tonight. They scored 131 for 5, and Tynedale 128 in their innings. Our next broadcasts here on Cricket West Tyne on Spreaker Internet Radio and via YouTube will be on Saturday at 2:30 PM as usual, from Tynedale versus Swalwell here at Hexham. And I think we're going to get some applause here for the batsman of Benwell Hill. Yes, so 2:30 as usual on Saturday here at Priors Flat. Tynedale versus Swalwell in Division 1. We'll be here. The match starts at 1:30. Do come along. It should be a good match. Tynedale beat Swalwell here, the champions last year, so it should be a good match. But from here at Priors Flat tonight, I'll say good night, with Benwell Hill winning by 5 wickets. Good night, and speak to you again on Saturday.